Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Slurv. Steve here again. Hope you caught my early slate cash game video earlier today, and now I got one for the late slate. So still no Adam doing a pitching video, so I'll cover a bit of that for cash game purposes myself. First up, we got Cole Hamels against the Reds, and Hamels is far and away the top option on the late slate. We kind of got spoiled on the early slate, and now we're paying for it on the late slate. He's 10.4 on DK, 9.9 on FanDuel. I like him on both sites for sure. I mean, on DK, I don't see how you don't play him in cash. Just, I don't see it. But then for the second pitcher, it gets a little tricky. There's Trevor Bauer, who's actually more expensive at 10.6 against Tampa Bay. I don't think I can do that. Your mileage may vary, but he's only 8.1 on FanDuel, which I do think is worthy of consideration. And then a guy that I'm kind of on the fence at the moment, but for right now I'm liking him is Urias against Washington. He's only 6.9 on DK. For comparison, he's 7.2 on FanDuel. That's a beautiful price. He's been throwing more and more pitches, and we can maybe expect that to continue increasing. I think so. And he's gotten a lot of strikeouts in very limited innings pitched. So there's a lot of potential there, and it's kind of a case of or who else. There's really nothing that thrills me. Definitely the early slate was a better cash pitching one. Catcher is like really, really ugly today, even for catcher. I'm a fan of punting the position in general, and today especially, so you could pick your favorite one if you like. I like Christian Vasquez against Quintana. Quintana's pretty good, but Vasquez is only 2.3 on DK and 2.2 on FanDuel. Part of that Red Sox offense that up until like the past 2 days has been ridiculously hot. And Quintana's due for a little bit of regression anyway, so at that price, I like his chances to pay off his salary. If you got money to spare, you could play Matt Wieters against Eric Johnson, who is pretty terrible. But I'm not a huge fan of Matt Wieters, and paying 3.8 for him just feels wrong on DK. 3.2 on FanDuel, it's meh still, but not many better options, that's for sure. I like this Baltimore game a lot, actually, and maybe my top overall play on the day is Crush Davis. I expect him to crush some of Eric Johnson's pitches. 5.1 on DK is expensive, but with no over 10.5 pitching, shouldn't be too much of a problem, I don't think. He's 4.2 on FanDuel, so no worries there. If he really is too much of an issue for him, price-wise, I also like Pedro Alvarez. I hope you watched my stuff yesterday, because in the rundown and the Dong Finder and stuff, I was all over Pedro Alvarez. I tweeted about Pedro Alvarez. He hit 2 home runs. I was pretty happy about that, even though I took him out of my cash lineup because of the weather concerns. But he's definitely an option today at 3.7 on DK. He's a third baseman on FanDuel, which makes him much less attractive. Second base, I'm going to go back to a guy that hit a home run for me yesterday, and that's Jurickson Profar. Today he gets Straley, who is not too bad, honestly, but I don't think that Profar will have any problem paying off his salaries. 3.8 on DK, 3.0 on FanDuel, really cheap on FanDuel. I do also like Robinson Cano a whole lot against Fulmer. Fulmer's another guy who's been pretty good, but I think Cano matches up well with. 4.1 on DK, so not a whole lot above Profar if you've got the extra bucks to spend. And 4.0 on FanDuel's, less appealing there. He's not a guy I love to recommend, but, he's got like 20 homers this year, and he's honestly a pretty good baseball player, I think. Todd Frazier gets to bat against the ghost of Eduardo Rodriguez today. It's possible that Eduardo is doing better now, but his first couple starts back have been pretty sad. And Frazier's only 3.7 on DK, just a great price for him. 3.2 on FanDuel, right about the same there. Or if you're more in the punting mood, Ryan Schimpf is on the slate. He gets Ubaldo Jimenez, who is back in the starting rotation, I think on an emergency basis, because they just are out of pitchers. I'm not 100%, but he's back. Schimpf is 2.2 on both sites, so nice punt. On DK is also second base eligible if you wanted to go there. Speaking of Eduardo's, I like Eduardo Nunez against Adam Morgan. Morgan has just been bad, just plain bad. 4.3 on DK, 3.3 on FanDuel. Nunez matches up very well with bad left-handers. And then on a price that's just too cheap on FanDuel, Xander Bogaerts against Quintana, yeah, but it's not that scary a matchup, and he's 3.7. That's way too cheap on FanDuel. He's 5.3 on DK for comparison. I don't hate him there, and you might well have the money with how cheap pitching is today. But Nunez offers a solid $1,000 discount there that I think I'm likely to take advantage of. You may recognize some of these players from such appearances as my cash game videos all week. Hyun-Soo Kim, who I just love to bring up because he's a singles machine, getting on base, getting us those consistent points. Gets Eric Johnson, just adding fuel to the fire there for his case. 3.6 on DK, 2.8 on FanDuel. Love him. And then we got Mazzara and Chu up against Straley. They have been up and down. I think Chu was a goose egg yesterday, actually, and Mazzara only had like a hit, but I still like them a lot. They're excellent ball players. 3.7 for Mazzara on DK, 2.9 for him on FanDuel. Really, really cheap on FanDuel. Of course, the reverse of the pricing is true for Chu on both sites. It's 3.5 on DK and 3.0 on FanDuel. So they're both within reason, though, so you can just kind of choose which or both you like. That game has a very high total, and the weather is great for hitting, and I expect there to be some fireworks there. And then going back to Fulmer, who I don't want to pick on too much, but I think with some lefties is okay. Is Seth Smith for only 3.1 on DK. He's 3.5 on FanDuel, which kind of makes him a little harder to consider there. But that DK price is really nice, and he's usually batting near the top of the order. And then last but not least, we've got Mookie Betts. He's just really, really good, even though the Red Sox have been cold for a couple days. That's not going to last. Righty-lefty matchup. Mookie's good in that. 4.7 on DK is, the cheapest he's been in a while, I think. 4.2 on FanDuel is just like really, really too cheap for old Mooks. And, he leads off for one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. He might go a little overlooked with Boston doing so badly the past couple days. And with Quintana being perceived as a very difficult matchup. It's not an easy one. I'm not saying, target Quintana with all your stuff. These are very, very good hitters we're talking about. We're not talking about just random dudes. So I'm on board the Mookie train as long as I can fit him in salary-wise, which we'll see as lineups come out and things develop. And for updates on all of that kind of stuff, we are having an expert chat today at 5 p.m. Eastern. It is lots of fun. You should come on by slurv.com, get on signed up, come by the tailgate before then. We'll chat a little bit in there. And then at 5, me and Max and Adam get on with Eric, and he leads us through the slate, and we come up with some pretty damn good plays. So come on by. I love the expert chats. Slurv.com. Once again, my name is Steve, and this has been Cash Game Cornerstones for MLB. What are we? Wednesday, June 22nd. One of these days, I'll learn the date. Good luck, guys.